All right, so we finished getting all the purlins up on the roof, and so now we're working on the outriggers, but that's the term, but it's not going to be an outrigger because we're going to do a shed connection from this part of our building. It's going to extend down 14 feet, which will extend out somewhere around like just under 13 feet once you add your 512 pitch. We need to put a purlin right here, right where the block is. This typically, you would have a 2x6 sit on top of your truss attached to your post and extend down farther, and that would give you your overhang. But for us, we're just cutting it flush with the truss here, and then we're attaching a hanger for our last purlin, and then we've got these 4x12 Simpson brackets. So we're going to be putting these brackets on here, and then we're going to run a 4x12 beam from column to column. Then we're going to have 2x8s that are going to tie into this, and those will be 16-inch on center, and they'll run perpendicular to these purlins up here, and that's going to be where we transition from this style framing to our shed style framing coming off of the building. So we've got a bunch of these outriggers made up. We have quite a few under here ready to go, so we're figuring out how many right side left sides we need. Once these are up, we'll get them put on the building, and then we'll hang our HQ 412 bracket afterwards. So kind of set these here so you can see what I'm talking about when I say I'm figuring out how many I need for the right side and for the left side. So this would be a column would be between here, and then this would be a purlin. So the way I'm lining these up is I'm just getting one side lined up, then I'll just pop it with the nail gun. Try to do this one-handed here. Then I'll hold the block, make sure I'm nice and flush. Then I'll push the other side in. Yeah, this gun's gonna be awesome. I gotta go find my laser. All right, so right now I'm pulling some string lines so that I can know exactly where I want to put all my brackets. So I've got a string line on this side where the covered patio starts, and then on the end of the building over there where it ends. And what I've done is I've pulled the string right next to all of these posts and got it just super close, not touching. I'm coming off of that 12 feet. I'm gonna make a mark here, and then on the other side I've got 2 inches of drop coming down off my stem wall where the concrete patio is going to start, and then I'm going to do 2 inches of drop out here at 12 feet out. I've set this to that grade so I can pull a string across, and I'll do a couple of stakes in the middle just to make sure that I'm accounting for any sag in the string. I've got the Midwest permacolumn brackets, and I'm putting the string right to the top part of this bracket here, and so I accounted for an extra 1/2 inch of drop where the bottom of my concrete will pour, and then that way once I get the string pulled, I'll pull a tape and I'll go through and I'll pre-mark all of the spots on the string, and then I'll undo the string for the pour, set the string back up as soon as we're done pouring, so that I can just come through and I know exactly where each bracket's going, and I can get it put into the concrete without worrying too much about my placement, because all the work's already done on that. So, all right, let's keep pulling some strings.
Take my time, dear, just to keep you around here. Know what they say, you can't keep the clouds away, away, far away. Every day is a brand new day. All my life I've been searching for the right way to keep my head above the clouds, to keep myself from looking down. It's harder than you think to live our days in happiness and worry about what happens next. It's harder than you think
Gotta make sure I'm off the string. And I'm nice and level. Okay. Money. That one's like a 1/16 too low, but I'm not gonna mess with it. This is still really soft. It's too soft.
life's moving faster. It's all just a game we play. I've been losing myself in every single way. At least I still have you. I've played all my cards, and I'm all out of luck. Put my money in the jackpot, but I guess it's falling through. At least I still have you. Every day is a
Check out this crazy looking spider. Thing's pretty big. It's a big one. Man, that beam saw is awesome. I love that beam saw. All right, so we're starting to put up these posts. We're getting them nice and plumb. And right now, James is getting ready to start cutting all the 2x8s that go on those hangers and come down to the posts. We've got where it's cut up here to 512, where it will go into the bracket or the hanger up on the top of the building. And then coming down, we've got our bird's mouth cut out here, where this will sit on the glulam beam, and then a 10.5-inch overhang. This is our mock-up that we're going to use as a stencil to do the rest of them, but I wanted to make sure that it fits first. We'll get this up and then we'll make sure that everything lands good before we go nuts and cut too many and find out we made a mistake later. So So at this point, I'm getting ready to start putting my beams up on the columns on this end, and I need to do a timber frame truss here. And so my columns are 12 feet out from the building, and it's a 5/12 pitch. My 2x8s take up 7 inches, so I'll subtract 7 inches because they're going to rest up on top of the truss like that. So I'll subtract that 7¼ inch off to account for my 2x8, which gives me a rise on my truss of 4 feet 4¾ inches. And so I'll punch that into the Construction Master Pro at a 5/12 pitch, and that gives me a diagonal and my run, so I can figure out exactly the math to build my timber frame truss. It's kind of scary, a little intimidating to practice, you know, doing all these cuts on all these expensive beams, but figure it out the best you can and give it a shot, and that's the only way to learn. So I just got done making that cut, and I realized that I mean, it's really hard to tell, but the blade wasn't quite square. So it was set on 0, but when I got done, I checked it, and like if you set the square here, you can barely see that this bottom is probably 1/8 larger than the top, which means that that's going to give me, since this is my face side here sticking out, that means that there's going to be 1/8 of a gap here across the whole thing. So I just basically set this right on the edge I just cut, traced another line. I'm going to do another cut with it being a little bit more square. You know, it happens. I got some little bit of beam to spare on this one, so yep, it's worth redoing and making a nice straight cut. It looks like
I'm almost finished with our fencing video.
Oh, you did one there, huh?
Yeah. I was working on it today.
Maybe you can help hold this to make sure it doesn't tip over on me.
Just kind of brace it.
Yeah. All right.
Groceries, will you get me some ice cream while you're there?
Okay, Shell, that should. Yeah, you're good. So we just got done making these inside pieces for the truss, the webs, and this is what we came up with. I had a 2x12 in the back, and we used the 2x12 to kind of decide which angle that we liked, and then we measured the bottom of it. Let me grab the square. Shell liked having the angle a little bit more, like so. And so what we did is we set the square here, get your pivot up against this, and you can see what angle it's at. And this was right at a 35 down here on our degrees. So we went, okay, that's the angle we like. And from there, figuring out both of these angles is really easy, because you know one's 35, it takes 55 to get to a 90, and we know we have a 90 degree here. So what we did is we just marked one side at 35, the other side at 55, and then we intersected them at the 6-inch mark, which is half of the beam, to make sure that those died right in the middle. And we can trace this one for this same side here. We've already checked that it fits on both, but for now it's coming right along. So I just spent like, I don't know, maybe, what do you think, 15 minutes? Probably 15 minutes. I got this bit stuck in here. It's a the depth that I want it for my pre-drill. And this has happened to me a couple times where, like, once it's stuck, you try not break your wrist, but you also need the power for it to move. I would drill in, and then normally I try to back out, and I was just about to start backing out, and when I flipped it, it was binding up and, you know, cranking my wrist around and stuff. And so I tried grabbing it with a handful of different things to get it unstuck, with some vice grips, wiggling it and pulling it. And what I found worked really well is the Milwaukee 1/2 inch impact. That's pretty intense, but this is nice because I don't have to worry about it messing up my wrist. And I was able to break it free with that. And so now I can put the drill back on and back it out. So if you ever have one of these stuck and you got a big impact, it's definitely the way to go to get these out. Wish I knew that like a month ago when I got one stuck in over there. But so I tried this Irwin bit out right after getting that stuck because it's got a lot tighter. These are a lot tighter and there's more space in here, I think. I think that this bit goes in a lot cleaner. It's a lot easier to drill through the wood. All right, go in reverse. The board's bending on me. No problem. Right around here, it's fighting me. Right around here, it starts fighting me. That one, it didn't even fight me the entire way. It was the same. It was cleaning it out a lot better. This one, it's starting to bind and fight. So if I try to go in reverse, that's what I got, you know. You gotta, it's totally stuck, so break free here. There you have it. Pick this one. I'm a Diablo fan. I love Diablo, but this one works better. I knew it couldn't be me. Had to be the product. We're just about to start lifting this truss up, and as I was climbing into the skid steer, I noticed this pin right here. It's totally coming out.
Want this one?
Actually it was hardened, and then I lifted up here and was able to get it. So there's some sort of bolt that goes in there that
There.
and there's a square end on it. So those are probably long gone.
Where'd you put the
So this is what lines up here, and then a bolt goes through here, and whatever bolt is gone on this side is also missing on the other side. So I'm just gonna have to use these spare bolts I got laying around until we can figure out which one we need to get. Double up these washers, give us a little extra strength. pretty much guide it, and then right as we're getting ready to,
Get up and help set it.
we'll wait till we're almost ready to set it, and then you'll climb up the ladder just in case something happens. It starts swinging or whatever. A bee is in the cab and Shell's like, ah! It's the frickin' thing. Alright, let's go up. Here we go. Alright, let's creep in. Okay, you're in?
Yeah, I'm in.
Okay. Alright, Shell, just back up a tiny bit. There you go, now go down a little bit. Alright, back up. Alright, let's take a look. So we just got that dropped in, but I'm gonna go ahead and brace it up because these are just 2x2, 1 foot thick concrete footings down here. And with all this weight, we just kind of want to be careful that if a gust of wind or something, you know, wasn't sitting plumb, and we thought it was, even though it is, but if there were to be anything, we just want to make sure that this is braced up so it doesn't pull those footings over.
What did you get into?
So I'm getting ready to cut this, it's a 1.75" by 12" Versalam, and I was trying to figure out, this is going to be a valley cut for coming from the center of the building out to each end of the truss. So I measured that distance coming out, and I found out that that was 17 feet 8.5 inches. And so I've got my rise at 5 feet, my diagonal, and then I hit pitch, and it says it's a 3 inch and 9/16 over 12 pitch. And if you just hit pitch again, it'll say that that's a 16.4 degree angle. So what I'm going to do is put this here on the corner, and I'm going to come over to 16.4 degrees here. I'm going to make my mark here, like so. And now I'm going to just set my saw to a 45-degree bevel cut and rip it along here, and then I know that this will sit nice and flush and flat up against the building. I gotta say, I really like the new Milwaukee 6.5. This thing's freaking awesome. It's so torquey, got lots of power, flies through this stuff like nothing. such a quick learner. Okay, that's good. Sweet. This one's over a little bit. I wonder if it would have been over on the other side. It's definitely better to be over than it is to be under, you know?
I'm just taking my time, dear. I won't leave you behind, dear. I won't leave you behind, here. I'm just taking my time, here.
All right, so I just wanted to kind of talk about a mistake I made real quick. When I put this truss together, I accounted for my 2x8s to sit on top of the truss, so I lowered it, and it's at a 5/12 pitch, and so I took, you know, I accounted for that, but the problem is when I made that measurement, I made it off of this, you know, the top of this beam, and my 5/12 actually, because I'm 12 feet off my building, my 5/12 is actually doesn't start at this, it starts at the top of my 2x8s that come out, and so I'm like 4.5 inches lower than I need to be. My 2x8s come off of this Versalam over here. They're 4.5 inches too low, and so I'm totally bummed about, you know, making that mistake. It happens. It's not a big deal, because there's always ways to fix it, or you have to just redo something. If I were to redo this truss, it'd probably cost about $700 to get new beams, because I would just have to get the top beams. But my plan is to stack up some 2x6s on top. If I stack 3 of them up, that'll give me that 4.5 inches that I need to raise the truss up. That way my fascia all looks the same, and it'll look nice coming off of the truss. And then what I'll do is I'll just put a piece of trim to cover those up, and it'll just be, you know, either a 5-inch piece of wood, or maybe some flat bar stock that'll match our block hardware and stuff that we're putting on the truss later. So I just wanted to share that mistake, and, you know, just anyone out there that's building a house or doing something, remind them that we're constantly making little mistakes here and there. We try not to, and it happens, but you can't be afraid of those mistakes.